Okay.
Okay. So we just went live.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, we are live. Let's just hope the chat
Okay,
can hear
cool.
us. Hello, chat. Can you hear us? Let us know. Am I audible? I don't want to try and fix this for 15 minutes.
I'm rewatching really quick. Yo,
Okay.
what's up? Looper Pooper says, "Yo, what's up?" Also, I came in really nice at the beginning there with the yo. Okay,
Okay.
let me
Perfect.
go back to live.
All right. Okay. Looper Pooper
Yep.
says we are audible. Perfect. Okay.
Nice.
All right. So good evening to the two concurrent viewers we have in the chat. It is October 18th. It has been a Sunday since the last episode because that's how we do it. Welcome to In the Yugi Know, uh, the casual Yu-Gi-Oh podcast where we talk about all the different things that are happening in the game. I am casual card gamer Jello, and with me, as always, is JC Theater Yu-Gi-Oh. And yeah,
Hello.
this week we are going to be talking about a bunch of stuff. There's disappointment, there's excitement, and everything in between in that spectrum. So before we get into it, JC, how have you been?
I've been doing good. In my personal life, it's been midterm week for college right now. In my YouTube life, I didn't post anything this week. I do still have videos on backlog. I'm just trying to figure some things out with my own content, but at least I have this to keep the some kind of freshness to my Yu-Gi-Oh lifestyle, you know. But how are you doing with everything?
I'm doing pretty well. In the middle of moving right now, so I might be taking a break for this week while we're getting all this stuff fixed and everything. We're supposed to be moving finally everything on Wednesday, but
Mhm.
I haven't moved my computer, my desk, or my fish tanks, so I'm gonna have a bit of a fun time with that. But um, yeah, I do have a new series sort of in the works, and JC and I have been talking about it. And once we have more of the details sort of ironed out, then I'll make a formal announcement on that. But other than that, it's just been sealed onlys. I will post a spoiler alert for Tuesday's episode. I finally pulled a Sunlight Wolf, so finally, so that's some progress in that line, and yeah, that is it for everything that's going on in my life. To shall we get on with the program?
Yes. And the first thing up on what we should say is that I take everything back. My life has been doing pretty terrible because the Spirit Charmers structure deck has officially been leaked in terms of its TCG contents,
Mm-hmm.
and it is missing one very important card, evenly matched.
Yeah. So not
What are your
only
thoughts on this?
well, I'm it's kind of a double whammy, you know. It's it sucks because first things first, it was supposed to come out this coming Friday originally, right? October 23rd.
Mhm.
So did not only did it get moved back almost an entire month, but they literally gutted the gills out of this fish. It really sucked. And I was planning to get a bunch of these just for the evenlies. But now that it's not there and they just give us Regeki, it really does suck. Like you'd think that they delay it for a month so that they could give us better, like, and they'd say, oh well, we made them wait an extra month. Here, let's give them some good cards. But no, they're just like, no, you gotta go and buy some dual powers, and you gotta go and buy some dual overloads, and you gotta go and buy. Oh no, not dual overloads. Sorry, what was it in? the 2018 Megatins. You had to go out and buy it in whatever other set it came out in. I don't even remember what it was anymore.
I think Dual Power. I
Yeah,
think I know it came out in something like Dual Overload, but it wasn't
yeah, it
that
was dual.
specific set. But it was some.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was the. I'm sorry.
yeah.
It was Circuit Break, the Megatins, like you said, and then something else. So it's
Oh
been
yeah, Dual
three
Power.
sets, but it's still.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, in my mind for a second it switched over to Infinite Impermanence, but yeah, it's Dual
Mhm.
Power.
That's what we should have gotten for our month wait. They should have
I
added
know.
that in and gotten rid of Effect Veiler for the
I know.
structure deck.
But now that you say it, I might just go out and get a bunch of circuit breaks because they're still like my big box store like 5 minutes away. They just have
Mhm.
a bunch of circuit break special editions that haven't been moving, so I might get it. But anyway, just a shout out to our chat, Looper Pooper. Thank you for confirming our audio's existence. And Sakura, um, what's up? I don't know why I said but yeah, we're doing really well. It's a Sunday evening, and we're doing this podcast, and it feels really good. Anyway, um, this hasn't been the first time that Konami, like has shanked us in the back in terms of
Mhm.
us not getting good cards. And you'd think at some point, since this card is like 2 years old already and even harder to get, that they'd at least give this to us. It really sucks, but
Mhm.
yeah,
You would think it would like it has to come out in like Gold Series or something like that, or they're sitting on it for a reason to not give it to us for sure. And it's also it opens up a bigger discussion about the Dragoonity structure deck
mm-hmm.
and the Gearfried structure deck.
Yeah,
Oh, there and the first one that I'm aware of that they did this with was the Pendulum Magician structure deck.
mm-hmm.
They turned them into sets instead, and they just kind of like ruin things here.
Yeah,
And we don't even get as good of stuff as the OCG to begin with. So the scraps that we can get from them, that's usually confirmed we will get. When they mess with that, it definitely hurts, especially because they know I'm gonna buy it anyway.
yeah.
So they get
You
the
have no
money no
choice.
matter what.
Yeah, really sucks. But yeah, I think that's everything that we had about the Spirit Charmer structure deck. It still has Dark Ruler no more. It still has Effect Veiler. It still has. I believe it still does have Denko Sekka in it as well. I don't remember if they took that out and then gave us some other random card to, appease us. But I think in terms of disappointments, that's the biggest thing with the structure deck. Anyway, recently the OCG got a product reveal for their selection box 10, and in it were the Sun Avalons. We do not actually know how to pronounce it. I was saying Sun Avalon, and that sounds really weird. And JC said Sun Avalon, and that sounds a lot better. So we're going with that for the rest of the show. And they are saying that we might get this. Oh no, I don't think it was anybody, but you said that we would probably get it sort of trickling in through main sets, and then get the rest of it in a dual overload-esque box set. So what what thoughts do you have on that? And to any of our viewers that
So
don't
yeah,
know
I
what
saw.
Sun Avalons are, then if you could explain that to them.
Okay, yeah. So the Sun Avalon, this set in general, what you just talked about, the selection box 10 is kind of like the new version of the Link Brains pack. And if we look at the trend with that, whatever released in the OCG's Link Brains pack would come out randomly in our core sets. And then, as you just mentioned, eventually just the rest came out all at once in Dual Overload. I just am assuming this will be the same thing because it's like the replacement for that, like in I guess their like catalog.
Mm-hmm.
But Sun Avalon are a bunch of plant monsters that like are a link plant, like a link based plant archetype that come from Link Vrains, and I don't know much about their effects off the top of my head. All I know is that I've seen people over time like be like, when are we getting this in the TCG? So it does have at least some form of a fan base. So it is good that it is coming out. Better, I guess, now than never, because even though Vrains is over with, it's not like it's been over with for too long.
Yeah. And let's see, our chat is cooking up a little bit. Sakura says, when I buy a booster pack of the archetype of a deck, Konami would ban that card for no reasons on the ban list. I guess that's true too. They saturate the market with a card that people know is good, and then they just nuke it after. Tario Frost is in the chat. What is up? Thank you for always being here. We love you too. Looper Pooper asks if star packs are still a thing. I don't know. I don't know enough about star packs to say whether or not they've skipped a year or something. But I did have a box of the Vrains star pack, and that was really fun to open. Just a side. But yeah, are star packs still a thing, JC?
I don't know, to be honest. I know, if as far as I'm aware, star packs and like those like 5 card packs that are usually end up magically in like dollar stores and stuff is where I mainly see them like after a while.
Okay.
I think they're always just reprints. So sadly, it's not like we can look to those as like anything coming in like brand new to the TCG. But I haven't heard anything since, like you mentioned, Star Pack Vrains, and I think that was at the beginning of Vrains. So it's been at least like a year since I've heard anything about them. They just kind of spring up randomly, I think.
Yeah, they didn't really have much in there. I believe the most expensive card in there was the Star Foil Decode Talker, if I remember correctly. I forgot who said that. I think it was Cyberknight. I love watching his videos, but I think it was him that said that. But anyway, I'm kind of excited, not because I know anything about the deck personally, but because people were sort of blowing up about it on Twitter. So I'm excited to see how that goes. I haven't been able to get around to watching Vrains completely yet. I've watched like the first 2 episodes and then never got the chance to after because work got so busy. But yeah, if people are happy for it to come in, then I'm willing to see where that goes. But yeah, let's see. So next we have Blazing Vortex. We're going through this really fast. Like, there's a lot of stuff.
I will say.
Oh, okay.
Just a quick shout out with the Selection 10 box. We're also getting some support for Laval, Flamevel, Galaxy Eyes, and Shadal.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Now, we're not going to bore you guys with the details of all of these, but just know that Laval and Flamevel got support before Volcanics. Shadal got more support because, of course, they would. And Galaxy Eyes, I guess Photon really did win in the end, the Vote a Card contest, because they got support anyway.
Yeah. The OCG is like, okay, we'll take your second place. We don't care. But yeah, the Shadal monster looks really good. Like I think it's like Dark Shadal Genius or something like that. I don't remember the exact name, but it looks really good.
Yeah, it's furthering the lore, which I like a lot. Because when I first saw the reveals of just like the card arts, I was thinking, are they like revamping like dual terminal stories or something like that? Like, are they going like a new route? Because like they aren't really basing things off the anime much anymore because of like Yu-Gi-Oh 7s and stuff. But like we mentioned earlier, it's like the Selection Box 10 or whatever. But yeah, the artwork is pretty cool on the Shadal ones, and it's like referencing Fort Genius, I believe. Yeah, it's like the thing coming out.
Yeah, like broken parts of whatever that was in its art, and they're just sort of coming together with like this dark energy or something like that. Let's see. King Scarlet has joined the chat. Every time I open a star pack, I get every possible card that cannot ever work in any deck. Well, I think that's because like the thing with star packs that I've heard about a lot from bigger YouTubers that have opened them in the past is that they're mostly just for, like kids or like actually more on the parent side. Like if their kids want Yu-Gi-Oh, but they're like too young to understand the game, they just buy them a star pack because they're really cheap and the cards look really nice, and they're like, main, not like super main, but they are shown in the show a lot. So I think that's the whole market for the star packs. I bought one just for fun. I bought the 2013 star pack for Escoridao, and then the next week, Armageddon was announced, so I never got to open it for that reason, and I still haven't opened it. But yeah.
I want to say also, King Scarlet. I thought the same thing about like always pulling bad cards, basically like unplayable cards. But one card, Tackle Crusader. I don't know if it was a battle pack or a star pack, but like they're very similar. Of course, battle pack, that's a whole other thing because they're meant to be like played draft style and stuff.
Yeah.
But Tackle Crusader is like actually randomly kind of expensive because it works in certain Adamancipator builds.
Yeah,
so I sold it for like $6.
Oh,
so
nice.
I was pretty happy. The star packs worked out for me, or whatever pack similar to that worked out for me for sure.
Yeah, I think it is a battle pack. I can't remember. But do remember I do remember watching an Adamancipator deck video, and it was playing, I think, at least two of those in it. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's everything under the selection box and our tangent on star packs. Let's see. So next we have Blazing Vortex. So originally we only had Heavy Metal Foes, the Eldritch Fusion, and I have something here that says CD. I can't remember what CD stands.
Crossout Designator.
Crossout Designator. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get into the meat of this. As we all know, we're going to talk about this a little later, but since it is sort of related, some of the bigger Yugi tubers have been working with Konami, and oh wait, no, sorry, that's different. Anyway, I done goofed, but anyway, so Blazing Vortex is, I believe, the first core set for next year. Is coming out in, I think, February or the end of January, and I think this was last week, but Heavy Metal Foes and Eldritch got reveals, got further support, and I gotta say, I haven't read any of the abilities. I don't know what Metal Foes do, but they look amazing, and now I want a deck of it, and I know somebody who's selling them locally, and I just might. But yeah, heavy metals are getting supported. Eldritch, turns out that thing that looks like a mask is not a mask, and it grows. His head is huge in the next one, and it hasn't been 100% set in stone, but Crossout Designator has been heavily implied to be one of the main draws of this deck. And even more recently, after we had our pre-meeting and everything, is like the next day or yesterday, Spriggans were also announced as part of the set. And to anybody who doesn't know, Spriggans are the third leg of, or let's say season 3 of the whole Dogmatica story. Because Fallen of Albaz is part of, it has some synergies with the cards, and Dogmatica Ecclesia has also been seen not in her ecclesiastic armor, but in a desert garb. And yeah, Tri-Brigades have Tri-Brigade Kit, who looks like a smaller and younger, cuter version of Tri-Brigade Sniper Lady. JC just told me the name like less than 30 minutes ago, and I forgot it already. But
I forgot it too. It's like Blossom something, so
yeah.
so don't worry.
Yeah, and other than that, there was one more. There's one more thing. Oh yeah, and there is a new Dogmatica girl, small redhead, I believe, that is being like christened by, I think, the Hashinshin or Hashashin, the dude with the long claws. But yeah, that is everything that has been released for Blazing Vortex so far. And JC, what do you think?
I think you missed the greatest piece of
Oh my God!
support that came out in Blazing Vortex.
Oh
The
yeah!
alternate title to today's video, Info Flood, because obviously we are flooding you with a lot of information because a lot happened since last podcast, was digital bugs are
Oh
now
yeah! I'm
tier
so
zero.
I'm so
Uh,
sorry.
I I will go on a slight tangent here to
Go ahead.
say that I find the card uh not construction, but I can't think of the word right now, but
Mhm.
the actual like okay, so digital bugs are memed a lot as a deck that just is bad. You know, people say like, "Oh, Shino birds, oh, digital bugs." Like these are modern archetypes that people usually say like, "Oh, these are bad archetypes." Uh they rely on like changing monsters from attack to defense position, and their whole strategy is like ranking themselves up from a rank 3 to a rank 5 to a rank 7 monster,
Mhm.
Xyz monster. And this card literally has 3 effects that they like tried to fix the entire archetype with this singular level 3 insect monster. When you normal summon a level 3 insect monster, you can special summon this new card out onto the field, and you can make both this card and that level 3 insect either level 5 or 7. So you get rid of the climbing, you automatically get to your main goal. Second effect is if it's special summon from the hand, you can change the battle position of one insect monster you control, which again fixes all the slowness with the deck. And finally, a staple with the digital bug cards is when they're Xyz materials, they give an effect, and it just makes the Xyz monster gain 1,000 attack and defense, which is the weakest of the 3, but still it gets you a beefier monster.
Yeah.
I just want to say that this is very similar to Malefic Territory, where they literally like errated a card, errated a whole archetype with one card.
Yeah.
I just love when they don't know how to fix an archetype other than actually change it completely, but they don't have the room to give it like a whole new wave of support, which is what I think, going back to the main point, is what they're kind of doing with Metal Foes.
Mhm.
I can't really go into detail about the new cards effects because I read them like once,
Mhm.
but from what I know, from Metal Foes are best utilized as an engine, especially when they first came out, and Metal Foes Fusion being very good, being a good like just a simple draw card and stuff. It's used a lot when you have decks that discard cards because then you want Metal Foes Fusion in the graveyard.
Mhm.
But this is kind of making it more of a deck, so they're kind of like, I don't know, for me it feels like they're kind of changing Metal Foes in a way to something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my 2 things. I guess digital bugs is my favorite thing about Blazing Vortex, and also just a little comment on the Metal Foes support is I kind of don't like it, but we spoke about this in our pre-meeting. We believe this could be a hint towards releasing Electromite on a future ban list,
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
like they did with Rusty Bardiche
Yeah.
with the new Phantom Knight support.
Yeah. I feel like that's what's going to happen as well. Yeah, well, I mean, we were in agreement on that. I don't know why I said that. But anyway,
Well, so the audience can
yeah.
know that, yeah.
But yeah, like what they did in last month's ban list when they released Rusty Bardiche to hopefully kick up sales for Phantom Rage with other Phantom Knights stuff coming in. Um I do think that this is their most surefire way to get people to want to buy this, especially Pendulum players, because Pendulum's best deck. Hashtag Triff. But yeah, it's a good marketing ploy, and hopefully it does shake up the meta for the better, because right now, I have heard people saying that they don't really like how the meta has shaped up ever since the ban list dropped. Being
Mm.
somebody who doesn't play competitively, and I only play like rogue decks or tier trash decks. It doesn't really affect me at all. But But yeah, I hope people are happy. I hope that I forgot who was doing the countdown, not the countdown, but counting the days till they release Electromite. I can't remember who on Twitter it was, but yeah, there is somebody who's counting that. And yeah, that's crazy. I can't wait to see how that goes on. And there was also one more card that I just remembered now. I can't remember the name exactly, but it was the it's a Skull Servant support card. White baking
Oh, I don't
or
like
white
that.
cooking. You don't like it?
I don't. I
Cuz
don't like the flavor they added to that. I understand being funny has its place,
mhm.
but it doesn't match anything else in the archetype in terms of it randomly being a pun. Uh, so yeah, I don't know. This feels like a sevens card. This feels like a rush duel
You
version
think
of
so?
Skull Servant. This doesn't. I feel like they're finally starting to blend the two together.
Uh-huh.
That's why we're not getting rush duels. We're just gonna get the rush duel art and cards into our game. Yeah, I don't know. So something just doesn't. I don't even play Skull Servants. So I shouldn't even really have an opinion, But
Yeah.
I just don't really like the flavor, and I can't even tell you how good the effect is because, like I said, I don't play Skull Servants.
Well, I played Skull Servants. I played a Skull Servant deck for in speed duels, and it's hilarious. It's hilarious how big a King of the Skull Servants gets for no reason. But yeah, I think if because you can, I only read the ability like once or twice and then laughed at the art for the next 10 minutes. But um, the ability lets you, I think it's like tribute a monster and then summon a level 3 or lower zombie monster from your graveyard. So you can pitch something and then bring a King of the Skull Servants onto the field, and then it gets really big. But yeah, that's that's news. I guess it's very very. But anyway, let's get into the chat a little bit because I feel like we left them alone. Let's see. So King Scarlet says that's dope about you being able to sell your the rock thing. Forgot its name. Something Knight.
Yeah, Tackle Crusader.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Tackle Crusade. Oh, I got it wrong. I was on the wrong. I was
He
on
looks
the
like
wrong.
a knight. He has a helm
Yeah,
on, so you're good. Yeah.
I was on the wrong job tier level from Ragnarok. He leveled up to a Crusader. He's not just a knight anymore. But anyway, let's see what else do they have here. King Scarlet says he loves this. Tried the tried to with Red Dragon Archfiend resonators with Prison Resonator. Oh, you need more tuners? Summon them all. Yeah, I love the resonators though. I don't know why. They're one of my favorite monsters just because they're just these evil looking things, and they're just holding literally like literal tuning forks. It's great. Those are tuners. Those are actual tuners. I don't care about anything else. That's why Junk Synchron got banned. It's not an actual tuner. Let's see. Pen's best deck. Appliancer best deck. I only play 6 Samurai. I don't like the idea of Rush Duels. Rush Duels. We talked about this in the last episode. It seems it's fun if you don't like jumping through all the extra hoops that you need to jump through in the TCG to get to the fun part of the game, which is to literally just slap your opponent silly of all their life points. Because, I mean, yeah, that's how I understand it. Yeah, it's just for, I guess, for people who don't want to, wait 10 minutes for somebody to finish their turn. You know, it's a smaller field and you get to literally summon anything, and the art can be a little polarizing. The story I heard from some people is getting better. So whether it's the anime or the game that you don't, the format that you don't like, then those are my 2 cents on it. But we gotta stay open minded, guys, because you know what happens when a game stops progressing? The game dies. The game literally dies. Okay. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. Like spaghetti hoops. Yeah, like spaghetti hoops. But oh my God, where were we? Where was I before I went on that ramble?
Uh, um, real quick, I just want to say with the Crimson Resonator like bring out a bunch of tuners. That's kind of what I like the most when they give random support where they're literally like, oh, we'll make this whole mechanic where like Red Dragon Archfiend like needs multiple tuners. You know, that'll be the gimmick, right? And then
Yeah.
they're like, well, it's not really working out, so we kind of got to take this back by giving them something broken to kind of make up for the initial mistake they did. And that's what I see so much with these random one-offs like the evil tile random support we got like 2 or 3 sets ago. It was just like again one card that they just dropped that they were like, let's try to fix this somehow, you know?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I don't know. It's always really annoying to me. Well, if it's a common, then it doesn't matter. But when
Oh yeah,
they
yeah.
add random one offs as like an ultra or as a super, then it really pisses me off. Just because like people like I mean personally at least like I buy sets because it's fun to get something that's coherent, like
Mhm.
three coherent things. That's fine. That's great. Three coherent things and then staples. That's fine.
Mhm.
But when I get three coherent things and then one random offshoot of something that I will never be able to use or I will never have any use in using, then that kind of sucks. Cause like I'm the kind of person who will buy an entire set. I will buy like a bunch of boxes of something and say, okay, I'm only going to build this, and then 2 weeks later, I'll look at some of the cards from the other two archetypes that were released in that set, and then I'll go, this looks really fun. And I'll end up building it all anyway. But when I get stuff that I need to go further back in terms of sets, or have to buy singles that have probably either been bought out of the market because there's so little circulation of it, or I have to go and buy a box set just to get some of this stuff, then it really does it really is off-putting. But
Mhm.
yeah, pre-preparation of rights is pretty underrated. Agree, disagree?
I I um I don't think it's underrated. I think people like understand it's good. I just don't think it's used or talked about much because there's nothing to run it in right now, you know?
Yeah.
Because like I know this is a little dated, and I don't even think. Well, I guess okay, never mind. I was gonna speak about Necros and be like,
Uh-huh.
oh, Necros can't really use it, and that's a very powerful ritual deck. But a more recent, very powerful ritual deck, being Megaliths, also can't really use preparation of rites. The most recent ritual deck I personally like played with pre-prep with was actually Vendreads.
Oh.
And that when it can be used in it, it's very great. And I definitely agree it's a very powerful semi-generic card because it works with like any ritual deck that has a specific ritual spell for a specific monster. But
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, the only way for ritual decks to really work is when they're all just generic within themselves, and when you have a bunch of ritual monsters and the spells can work for any of them. But yeah, pre-prep is definitely a powerful card. I don't think, yeah, it was never hit on the ban list. I think only preparation of rights was, but
Mm-hmm.
that's back at 3-2, so that's also good. So we ritual players are thriving right now, I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to build a Blackluster Soldier deck, so maybe I'll give that a try too if that works. I don't remember what it does, but I'm gonna give it.
It searches both your monster and your spell
Oh, okay.
basically, but the spell has to have the name of the monster in its text.
Oh, okay.
That's why, like I just said, the whole thing
Yeah.
like it
Is
doesn't
it
really work for the more generic ones.
okay? Is it like does it have to does it say that monster's card name or that monster specifically?
um
Like a
Sorry.
Blackluster Soldier monster or like
Oh, it has
Blackluster
to have the
Soldier?
specific name, the specific, not the any blackluster. It has to say like blackluster soldier, because then you have to search
Oh,
blackluster soldier. Yeah, yeah.
that
I wish it
sucks.
if it was that good, then it definitely wouldn't be underrated or not talked about too much.
What was the set? What was the set the link came in again? Could you
Battles of
just
Legend. Heroes Revenge or Lights Heroes Revenge. I think he's talking about the
The Black Luster Soldier Link.
Blackluster Soldier
Oh yeah,
Link. Yeah.
Heroes Revenge. Yeah, I remember trying to. I remember
Revenge.
that being the original reason why I bought the Heroes Revenge packs, because that was the only thing that I saw on the back of the blister. Like, oh, there's a new Blackluster Soldier. I was just boomering like, oh my god. Yeah, Heroes Revenge. I opened up like 4 boxes of that. I never got one, but I did get I think 1 or 2 Boral Sword Dragons out of it, so that's pretty cool. But yeah. Let's see. So Eldritch is also getting a fusion, like I said earlier, and this sort of leads into a later topic of the gold collection list, which people are starting to now really, think whether or not the set list, the set spoiler that was leaked a couple of months ago is actually real. So hopefully, because that list is actually pretty good in terms of being able to save money, because the original Golden Boy is in it. Eldritch is part of that list, so hopefully, I don't know. I didn't read what the I don't remember much of the effect. Let me bring it up real quickly because I remember I sent it to JC. But all I remember is that when it's on the field, it counts as it's also what do you call it? Is also a Golden Lord, like original Golden Lord on the field. Its name becomes Eldritch the Golden Lord while in the monster zone. Okay, see, I have the card on my thing now. So it has 3 abilities. It becomes Eldritch the Golden Lord. Number 2, it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And number 3, you can tribute 1 zombie monster, then target 1 monster your opponent controls, take control of it, but it cannot attack or activate its effects until the end of the turn. That is cool. And he looks freaky. He looks freaky. Because this is really enticing for me just because it looks so good. I could not care less about its meta relevancy. Like I said, I only play casually and trash tier decks, but this looks amazing. This thing looks amazing, and he's big and beefy, which is cool too, I guess. But that's besides the point. And the spell trap, the spell card that was released, that was spoiled with it. Let's see. So you can only use this card's effect once per turn each. So it has 2 abilities. First one is during your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your deck using zombies from your hand or field as fusion material. Okay. And number 2 is if a zombie monster is special summoned by a card effect, you can target one set card in the spell and trap zone, and it cannot be activated this turn. That is pretty good. So it's spot negation and polymerization for zombies, basically. That's cool. I'd say that's pretty cool. But yeah, this is also in Blazing Vortex right now. Judging from the coloring of the letters of its name, I'm guessing that it's going to be an ultra in the OCG, and then the spell is white lettering, so this could be a common. It doesn't feel like it should be anything higher than a super, but that's just me putting my tinfoil hat on. Oh man, I forgot. We were supposed to make tinfoil hats for this episode. Oh man.
I completely forgot too. We talked about this too close to last episode, so by the time it's this one, I forgot too. But for next time, we will definitely remember, and we'll make sure they are gold to match the Golden Lord as well. We can get some spray paint.
Yeah, mine will have like the 4 horns that it has. It'll be perfect. I'll have that ready, guys. So we do have not really a running bit, because it sort of just pops up whenever we talk about anything that we're theorizing. But I do like to say let's put our tinfoil hats on, because conspiracy theories back in the early 2000s, everyone would just put on their tinfoil hats because apparently it saves their brains from being mind controlled or mind read by aliens. So that's the thing behind. But yeah, we are gonna get into the maximum gold, but for now we're just gonna go into and talk about the OCG a little bit. So in terms of product releases, we have two coming up. We have first the prismatic God box. So let me bring this up real quick. The prismatic God box is being released in the OCG on the 19th of December, so literally less than a week before Christmas. This would have been an amazing Christmas gift, because this comes with one of 3 prismatic secret rare god cards. So either one of the 3 god cards, 5 special packs, one card display case, a storage box, which is literally just the box, and one set of 70 thick, large sized card sleeves, and one of 3 sets of 70 card sleeves. So that is a lot. Right now, the only cards that have been shown, other than the 3 god cards, are the world premiere cards that we got in the 2020 Megatin. So that's Successor Soul, Destined Rivals, and Unity, Strength and Unity, or something like that. And then the rest,
I believe it's Strength and Unity. Yeah.
Yeah. The next 2, I don't know. It's a trap and a spell with floating stuff. And then the bottom row is Necroface, Toon, Blue Eyes Toon Dragon, Raw Sphere Mode, and then the boring arts of Blue Eyes White Dragon and Dark Magician. It doesn't say any. Oh, so here, each special pack contains 1 Millennium Ultra Rare or Ultimate Rare, and 4 Millennium Rares. And this set has 50 cards in it altogether. So, they've shown 1/5 of the set, and the other 40 cards haven't been shown yet. I don't think that this is a rarity that they've used before, if I'm not mistaken. Millennium Ultra Rares.
I think I don't know about Millennium Ultra Rares, but Millennium Rares have been used in the Calbee potato chip crossover with in the OCG. That's where you could get the exclusive potato and chip cards. If you're not familiar, they are very cute. They're like $10 on eBay before the whole pandemic. So, like with shipping and everything from Japan, it's like either they close down shop or like it's a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
So I wish I would have gotten them when they were $10. But my whole point is Millennium Rare was a possible rarity, and it's just a like how Dual Terminal has or Star Packs have the like foiling on the background.
Yeah.
That has like the Millennium kind of like runes that are on like the Megatins, or of course on the stuff in the anime, but my mind goes to the Megatins.
Yeah. Okay.
I have it, and so that's on like the entire card.
Yeah, this looks really nice, actually. The hieroglyphs.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Cool.
Yeah, hieroglyphs. That's what I meant to say. I don't know what I actually said, but.
But yeah, so this is the entire box information says it has 53 cards altogether, so that's the 50 set cards and then the 3 god cards. And I'm guessing, I'm just going out on a whim here, that the 70 thick card sleeves are probably going to be the design of the box, and on the box is the Megatin, the 2020 Megatin design. I'm guessing that's what it's going to be, and then one of 3 sets of 70 card sleeves, which I'm guessing is one design for each of the god cards. That's my guess, because there are 3 sets of it. So that's 140 sleeves in this box, and then you get 5 packs, which is cool, and 1 card display case. I'm guessing, I don't know what exactly that is, but I'm guessing that they're expecting you to put the prismatic secret rare promo cards in there or something.
Yeah, they had something last year. I think it was last year with it was like Red Eyes, Blue Eyes, Dark Magician and stuff that
Yeah.
came in a special rarity, and it also came with the display. It's like when people, I see it usually with people with world premiere like prize cards or
Okay.
misprints, like those kind of
Hmm.
like clear bricks kind of
Oh
with
yeah.
like the card in the middle. That's what it was prior. So
Hmm.
I'm thinking that's probably the same thing. I guess they're starting to do the display cases kind of, I guess, as a throw in for those more premium sets.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, Looper Pooper and Sakura both said that it's like that really old Mew Pokemon card, and I have a mental image of it, so I'm not going to search it. And that looked really good.
Hmm.
I don't know. Just going off on a tangent a little bit. I don't know if that was ever actually playable. Because how are you gonna understand that? But yeah, it was a really nice card to look at. I have seen a couple for sale. I haven't even bothered to check how much it costs because I'm pretty sure that thing is expensive. But yeah, this is a really cool. Set in my opinion, just because. Just because of the sleeves, and it's 3,000 yen. So I'm going to check how much 3,000 yen is in Canadian dollars because I'm Canadian, guys. If any of you didn't know that already, I'm Canadian. But what do you think about it, JC?
I like it. I personally, I don't know if I would get it because I'm not too crazy of a fan of like the god cards. But I would probably buy the singles for it. But if everything were to come over to the TCG, like including the display case and the sleeves, I think I'm definitely more interested in the sleeves, like you mentioned,
Yeah.
because that's like the cool thing,
Hmm.
because like we get cards everywhere we look in this game. You gotta get those nuggets of cool other stuff. That's what really like piques my interest a lot of the times
Yeah.
with special sets like this.
Yeah. So I just did the conversions, and in Canada it'll be almost $40, and in the US it'll be around $28. So I don't know if it'll kick it up to 29 or
Mhm.
30, but the fact that there's a bit of variance in this is what makes it pretty cool to me, and also kind of difficult, because I can imagine well, because personally, my favorite god card of the three has always been Raw. Not Raw. Sorry. Slifer. You can tell how much I prefer him. I just forgot his name, but I've always liked Slifer more. And if my tin foil hat theory is right, and each one of these one of three sets is oh, I can't. They can't hear me. Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but
Okay. Sakura cannot hear me. Did I press something? Let's see. Looper Pooper is asking how much it is in euros. Let's see. But let's see. Looper Pooper, can you hear me? That's weird.
hello.
I
Or
think he. Oh,
he was messing.
okay. But you can hear me, right?
Again, I can still hear you,
Okay. Let's
but
see.
I understand. Of course, there's like a whole other thing for the chat to hear and everything, like the viewers. But
Yeah. Okay.
just so you're aware, I can hear. He can hear us.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So Looper Pooper can hear me. Okay. So I just did the conversion again, and it'll be 24.29 euros. 24 euros. And this would be really fun because it is kind of like a tin. It's not kind of, I
Mhm.
guess, because it's not an anthology of any kind of set or anything. But you do get 5 packs, and each one of those packs has 5 cards in it. And the sleeves are also random. So you can imagine somebody like myself who wants to get, some Osiris sleeves, keeps getting Raw and an Obelisk, and just that would really suck. But it's also really fun because it's the variance to it is nice. I tend to try and stay away from set box sets unless it's something like Dual Devastator, just because I want the excitement, I guess. But yeah, I almost always stay away from, if I can help it, I always stay away from set box sets like that.
Speaking of set box sets, though,
Mm-hmm.
something that I think would still excite you, because it definitely would excite me if they made this into the TCG, is the Number Hunters binder thingy, the
Yes.
official name of the OCG. So basically, they are releasing. I am afraid I'm not as good as Jello when he pulled up the information about the Prismatic God box, but the Number Hunters binder will be coming out one day, and it has every single number monster in it. It is in the OCG, and I believe they are all the same rarity. I think they're all ultra rares. Uh,
I have it. I have it up here. Yes, they will all be
yeah,
in ultra rare rarity. Ultra
okay.
rare rarity. Yeah.
So this is a big deal mainly because everyone else in the world who has spent years collecting numbers, they gotcha. Now you can get I would argue you probably have more rarity upgrades in this set than downgrades,
Yeah.
because obviously numbers go from common to ultimate to ghost rare,
Yeah.
but I feel like a lot of the random numbers are like commons, rares, supers and stuff. So I definitely I want to see somebody do the math on that, because I'd actually be curious, but I like to think that ultra rare would bump more up than bring more down.
Mm-hmm.
But what would you get this if it came to TCG? Because honestly, I get the OCG version because I'm so interested in this.
Mm-hmm. So I've managed to find it in the chat because you did send it to me, and I was able to scroll up
Nice.
because it wasn't that much further from the God Box message. But the release details that have been given out right now is this won't be available until end of April 2021.
Oh my goodness.
That'll be a while.
They have
And
to print all the cards. It's
yeah,
a
and
big
that's the
set.
OCG. So you did say that you're gonna get it the OCG version, and the other concerning thing for me is the price, because this is 20,000 yen.
Mhm.
So let me get out. Let me talk to Bing for a little bit, because for some reason my computer doesn't want me to use Google.
Okay, so
So since it's already on euros, Looper Pooper, um, this would be 161 euros and 90. I don't know what the fraction of the euros are called. Yeah, but it is 161 euros and 90 something. And then for US dollars, that would be
I looked up US.
it's
It's basically 190 US
yeah,
dollars.
it's that's a lot. And for I'm
Oh,
scared to
no.
type in Canadian, but I'm doing it now. What? What? This is for Canadian dollars. It is 250 flat. Oh my goodness. So
Boy.
if it wasn't if it wasn't this expensive, I get it, cuz one, the inclusions are cool. So you get 3 special reprints in Winning Formula, Creator of Hope, and Creator of Miracles. You get 107 numbers, 125 chaos numbers, and 9 other numbers. And I don't know why they said and 9 other numbers. But
I
anyway,
think it's the Utopia, how they have like
oh, like the Future Slash and stuff
Utopia
like that.
V and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
that
Like,
makes
yeah.
sense. Okay, yeah. And then you have 3 new cards. I don't know if these 3 new cards are the ones listed down here, but you have number C1000 Numeronius. Is that new?
I believe so. I haven't heard of that prior.
Okay. And then the next one just ups it a little bit and is number IC1000 Numeronius Numeronia. And the last card is Numeron Chaos Ritual. So yeah, and then the note here is all cards will be released in ultra rare rarity. Over 100 numbers, number 10x will be in ultra rare red rarity. The future numbers will be in ultra rare blue rarity. And then you do get the binder. It is a 9 pocket page, so it is your regular sized binder and is able to store 180 cards. And you also get, and I think one of the main draws to this for people who don't, I wouldn't say don't care about the cards as much, but you know, like for memorabilia's sake, you do get the pendant as well,
Mm-hmm.
the Emperor's Key. So that's really cool. And Looper Pooper says I'd pay like 50 for it, or maybe 75. I would honestly, I don't wanna you know sound like a cheapskate, but I am a cheapskate. I'm Asian. What can you do? If they bumped everything down to if they bumped it all down to like super or even common, I'd do it. I'd do it for not for $250. That's insane. But I'd do it for like $75. Why not? You know, because it is a complete file. That's literally what it's called. Number complete file piece of memories is the official name for this set. But yeah, that is pretty cool if you ask me. Don't know about the price, like I said, because I don't want to do that to myself, because if I put in another $10, I'm literally paying my bi-weekly for my car, and I'd rather pay for my car. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I like it. I like the idea behind it, especially for the more collector side of the community. I do see why it is an easier way to fill up the collection, just because it is all together. My only gripe with it is the pricing. I don't know if I'm willing to spend $250 for a bunch of cards that I'll probably never use more than 10 of. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's my dollar on it. And yeah, do you have anything else about on the numbers?
No, I think I may pay for the one. What is it? 180 something.
190.
190 USD. I would have to really think about it. I would have to like not buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards for like 2 months, but
You could always
I
sell
don't
part
know.
of your liver. You can always do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, or a part of my collection. Liver first though, but
yeah, that's cool though. I think that's cool.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that's everything for the numbers. Probability of them bringing it over to the TCG, because I do know that a lot of the sets that they get in the OCG will not make it over to the TCG. So what like if you were to put a percentage on it of them bringing it over, what would you put?
Honestly, seeing just because another thing about the price is I've never seen anything in Yu-Gi-Oh cost that much, like on the shelf, right? I think the biggest thing, it like blew my mind back then when the Noble Knight set was $50, right? And I think that's still one of the most expensive things that I've seen, like Yu-Gi-Oh product released, like MSRP, excuse me, other than like of course like a box, like you know, like boxes of course are like 60-ish dollars, but you know, usually you see those in like pack form. I'm thinking like big box store, like at Walmart or something. So I really don't think this will come over, at least in the form it's at, because you have to think, when have they ever made an exclusive binder with that many specific cards in it with the pendant and all that stuff? Very, very unlikely, especially because over here in the TCG, they just bring out Duel Monsters stuff. That's it. So going into Zexal territory, I don't think they would think that's too marketable over here anyways.
Plus,
so probability 0. Sorry to answer your question.
Okay. Well, it was it was a good run. It was a good run for the amount of time that we talked about it. But I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, so playing on the just adding on to the whole them only releasing dual monster stuff here. I do understand that like the nostalgia factor of everything is a really big role in how they market things here. You know how they just sort of vomit every product with legacy support or Dark Magician and Blue Eyes on it. And to my understanding, in a lot of the Facebook groups I'm on, um, in terms of reception, it's always been Dual Monsters, GX, and 5Ds, and then everything else after that sort of drops off in terms of how many people like it. So, um, yeah, and to be fair, I, I think the reason why people don't like Zexal as much is because of the voice acting. Yuma's voice actor in English is horrible. Oh my god, it sounds like he's trying to hawk a loogie all the time. But anyway, just moving on because we have hit an hour as we always do. We always say an hour, but we never do it. To those of you who haven't seen Nimhim's video of Tri Brigades, he showed one card in specific that has started a mini uproar in his comment section and two sort of on Twitter, and that was the barrier of wind statue. His barrier of the wind statue. I don't know how to say. I don't know how to say it
I
right.
believe it is.
No, it's the statue of the wind statue thing. I can't remember the exact name for it, but he put it up on his screen, and the set signature was Mago, which is for maximum gold. So another card has indirectly been confirmed from the old list that was leaked a couple of months ago. Now, the more and more that this starts to make sense, the crazier it gets because of what was originally planned to release from this set. So far we have the big three. We have Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, Red Eyes. We have the three alternate arts already. We have Appaloosa, Stratos. Oh no, we don't have Droll yet. The day that they were supposed to release Droll, they gave us, I think it was Blazing Vortex support. Blazing Vortex releases. So that was thing. Oh, your mic is kind of going. Oh, is it my mic?
I don't hear any difference from you.
Oh.
I'm not sure again if it's something with the reception, but
Mangoes are cool. Mangoes are cool. I don't eat mangoes because of personal preference, but mango's like a Filipino food everywhere, so I'm kind of forced to live with it. But anyway, just going back to this list, it's kind of crazy, don't you think? And everything is sort of starting to play into the whole, if this was fake, then why did they take it down a couple of months ago? And why is this so scarily accurate, right? Because at first they had Bardiche, they had Harpy's Feather Duster, and then, which is kind of odd, the one that's kind of odd now is Called by the Grave because it's been shot down to one. But everything else on this list would make this such a valuable set if this is legit, because you have all the Ghost Sisters except for Ghost Scythe and Underroot or something like that, but she wasn't really used much anyway. But you get Ghost Mourner, you have Nibiru, you have Lady Debug. I know that one isn't too expensive, but it is still pretty useful in a lot of Cybers decks. You have Kitchen and Nurse Dragon Maid. I'm so glad I sold my Nurse. So glad I sold that. You have all the barrier statues. You have the Lost Art Monster Reborn, which is kind of odd to me, but how long ago was the Lost Art for Monster Reborn released ago?
I think it was, what I believe what you're looking at is a separate picture
Oh,
from what I'm looking at.
okay.
I think that might be a placeholder. Or because I'm looking at an actual Monster Reborn, like, or
Okay.
not a TCG rather. It's actually the opposite of an actual
Oh,
Monster Reborn.
okay.
Um, but just to answer your question, Monster Reborn I think was one of the very first. I know it was the first wave. I don't want to
Okay.
say it was the first, but I think it may have been actually
Okay.
when they first started the Lost Arts.
Okay. So that sort of would make sense if they were to add the OCG art, if they were to add the Lost art to this set as the thing, because the TCG art was um, reprinted in Rage of Raw as a common, because of course,
Mhm.
why not, right? But yeah, you have that. You have Imperm. You have Imperm here as well, which I didn't notice before. Maybe I'm just blind. Um, and you also have Machine Duplication, which was sort of expensive because it's a little hard to find as well. And then you have Boral Sword. You have, I want to say Force Strix here as well. I can't really tell looking that far in. You have Dryden. You have Totally Awesome too. This
Chakanine and
Chakanine,
Dry.
yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, you just said Dryden, but
Yeah.
Chakanine's also a very important reprint for
Yeah.
Zodiacs.
So if this is, a confirmed portion of this set, this is crazy. This
Mhm.
is actually crazy because you would get your money back and more unless they short print everything, which I feel like is what they're gonna do. But
Or they widely print everything and
just
nothing's worth anything anymore, you know, like
I
if all these cards go down in price a
yeah,
lot.
I would prefer that as a consumer because I I don't delve into all of the I don't delve into the vendor stuff too much, and
Mhm.
as somebody who just wants a set of imperms for my sealed only deck, so I don't have to buy tool overloads anymore. That would be really really nice. Um, I'm still hoping that they put in a Dustic Gold just because he has gold in his name, but I don't see that
Mhm.
happening. But yeah, I this would be crazy in all seriousness. This would be crazy because even though it's only one third of the set, or less than one third of the set, I believe this is like less than 50 cards. I want to say. Oh no, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, 69. There we go, 69. 69 plus 3, so that's 72 cards. That's less than half. Um, that would be pretty crazy. That would be pretty
Mhm.
crazy. And Nibiru. I don't know if I skipped over that earlier, but yeah, you got Nibiru in here as well. Now, for people who are looking to max rarity out their decks, I don't think it would mind too much. I don't think they would mind too much because gold rare has sort of been the scourge of a lot of people's collections. Like, oh, gold is ugly. But I like gold. I don't know why. I don't know why
I do
people
too.
don't like it. I don't like
Mhm.
the I accidentally dipped my card into laundry detergent rare. The other platinum rare. That one's a little. It depends on the card, but yeah, that's that's what I have to say on this. What do you have to say?
I definitely agree with everything you said about this would be crazy if it is true. And signs are pointing towards it being true. It was one thing when Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, and Red Eyes were announced because based off of the OCG's own like variant of their like gold, their most recent like gold product,
Mm-hmm.
they were in it. They were like one of the more prevalent like showcase cards in a way, showing this new foiling technology, which is interesting because Dark Magician Girl, Dark Magician Girl Dragon Knight. I'm sorry, I don't remember the specific name, but her
Yeah.
alternate art was also one of the like showcase gold rare cards, but that was transferred into Dragons of Legend because they
Oh, okay.
realized they wouldn't sell it any other way, kind of, because that's
Mm-hmm.
like the only really expensive card in the set. But yeah, as you can tell, I don't really like that set too much.
Yeah,
But
Toon
the dice
Kingdom.
are cool, yeah.
It's
Oh
still like
yes,
ten
yes.
dollars, I
Kingdom,
think, or like 9.
Toon Kingdom. I completely forgot about that. But so that made sense. The three main guys to where oh, that's just a coincidence that it was on here. That's an educated guess. But
Mm-hmm.
this barrier statue, I think, is the biggest like red flag. Like this could actually be legitimate. This is the first like leak or like confirmation that has actually been that has confirmed this in a way, like actually given validity, I guess. So yeah, it's crazy. I hope this list is real. And I wish I would have pre-ordered a box before before this probably drove up prices, because I know availability was also an issue. So that plus it being wanted will definitely make it those who hop on buying the box sooner rather than later will definitely get a big price decrease.
Yeah. I'm putting my tinfoil hat on and saying that this is it.
Mhm.
In before anything else happens, guys. You heard it here. Jello has his tinfoil hat on. He has his tinfoil hat on, and he thinks that this is it. This is it, guys. Don't mind my fryer haircut. This is only when my hair's down. But anyway, I think that it could go either way in terms of how much they like the short printing, because it would help. I feel like it would help them both ways if they were to overprint some of these more chase cards. Just going off of if this is real at all, if they were to overprint a lot of these chase cards, it would kill the secondary market, especially with things like imperm still being really expensive. Feather Duster, the last time I tried to buy one, I think the rare was $30. It probably has gone down since then, but it's still pretty expensive. Machine duplication's kind of expensive for no reason, just because I'm guessing because it's been a while since it's actually been printed, but those are going at least I would say at least $5 or $6 at this point. I managed to get a playset for 11, so that's pretty good. Boral Sword is that would, if it was printed in this, would probably finally kill its $20 hold. I'm not doing a market watch here. I'm just doing guesses. And is this Force Strix? I can't tell. Or am I? Oh no, that's not.
I'm
Force
sorry.
Strix.
Let me
Never
pull
mind.
up my
That's,
picture.
yeah, that's not Force Strix. That's a lot of stars there. I just realized. But they have. Is this Beatrice of the Burning Abyss?
Yeah, that's Beatrice there.
Yeah.
There's Utopia the Lightning, and then there's Tachyon Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon, and then it's like C number
Something.
upgrade version.
Yeah.
So that might be, I think, because Force Strix, you're looking at an Xyz monster for that, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It
Or
looks like a bird, and then I noticed its rank. I'm like, oh no, that's not Force Strix.
there's also I forgot the name of it. It's like big machine man. It's like a rank. It's a rank 10, I think. I think that might be. That's the only other Xyz we haven't talked about.
Okay.
I think. So
But yeah.
that's probably it. I'll Google it. I'll let you know after the podcast. I'll like
Sounds good.
Google it and figure it out just for our own sanity's sake.
Yeah.
But I think I know what that card is.
Okay. And let's see. But yeah, Utopia the Lightning kind of throws me off a bit because it was reprinted in Armageddon, I believe, as an Ultra. So it doesn't. It'll probably just be a gold letter rare or something if they actually put it in. But they do have a couple Dark Lords cards. Scrap Recycler is pretty good. Alistair, if he were to get that premium gold treatment, that would probably look really cool. Just because he is sort of a mascot. So yeah. There's a Trap Tricks, and then of course the barrier statues. But yeah. If this is true, this is awesome. Just because of the sheer amount of money you could make back on this, and even if you like aren't looking as a vendor, this would still be really good in terms of getting things that you need. You know, if you still haven't gotten your Harpy's Feather Duster, probably wait a bit. It'll be less than a month until that comes out. Machine dupe. I keep going back to that just because I was so mad when I had to get it for my Cyber Dragons. But yeah, Machine dupe and Infinite Imperm. Imperm is probably going to be one of the more chased cards in this set besides Golden Lord. If tinfoil hat on, this is real. But yeah, That's it. That's all I have. I ranted a lot. Holy moly, that was crazy. Sorry guys, you had to hear me ramble on like an old man. But yeah, that's awesome. Now, the last thing that we have, and something that you guys have probably already been acquainted with. Okay, so I'm just gonna address this real quick. Have never vibed to Despacito because there was one time when I lived in Vietnam that I went over to a school that I was going to do a demo class for to see if they would hire me. And my friend, who was a teacher there already, asked his class, and these are like 6, 7 year olds, and he asked them, "What song do you guys want to listen to?" And they all said Despacito. And he played the music video. I don't know if you guys have watched the music video, but that is PG-13 stuff. And yeah, they were, because they're just grinding. It's half of that music video is just grinding. So ever since then, I'm like, no, I'm done with this song.
And that class was single-handedly why Despacito became the #1 viewed video on YouTube.
Yes.
Because that one class in Vietnam was playing it on repeat all the time for all of those children.
7.8 billion, I think, is what it was at. I actually searched it up last night because I was at my cousin's place. This is the reason why I didn't do Inktober yesterday. I was at my cousin's place because it was her birthday. But yeah. Yeah, so like I was saying, something that has been going on for I think 3 days now. It started with Team Sam. Today's was Nimhim. Is YugiTubers working with Konami in releasing Phantom Rage Phantom Rage set releases. And first it was what was it at first? I don't remember. Oh, Phantom Knights.
Yeah,
Phantom Knights,
yeah. And Raid Raptors, because they
Raptors.
went together, so yeah.
Phantom Raid Raptor Knights. There we go. That's what we're going to call them from now on. And yesterday's was Dual Avatar, which I'm so angry about. They should have just kept it at Soten. I'm like, Dual Avatars? What is that? That's nasty. That's ew. I don't want to say that. I'm not gonna lie. It has turned off a lot of my interest in the deck. that localized name has turned off my thing, but it is a Hitmonchan Hitmonlee deck. You choose the punching guy or the kicking guy, and you just go off and do stuff with fusion monsters. And today was my favorite, the reason why I'm getting this set in the first place, Tri Brigades. So yeah, I think it's really cool. I know that we talked about this in our pre-meeting, but just for the viewers at home, we think that it's cool to have YugiTubers working with Konami, but the content that they're creating is kind of redundant, I would say, for lack of a better term, because if this was in the early 2000s where leaks weren't as prevalent as they are now, then it would be a lot more exciting because we wouldn't have known what was going on in Japan. But the fact that we get all of this set release info like months before we started getting Phantom Rage stuff in like I want to say August or even July, and so we already knew what all this stuff is. People have been playing these builds on EDO Pro for months now, so I feel like it's just for formality's sake that they're doing this, but I do wish that if Konami was going to interact with the YugiTubing community, that they would give content that they would share content that isn't already expected to be out in the data space and stuff.
Because Ruggles actually the last person to present the new cards revealed. He gets actually world premiere knowledge. Like
Yeah.
he gets, I think they're called mutants, a
Mutants.
play on the word mutants. I don't know if I'm exactly pronouncing it right or if I'm remembering the spelling in my head correctly either. But
Mm-hmm.
basically, he gets the one like actual like what you're saying. The biggest issue is he's not gonna rehash what we kind of already knew.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, after speaking with you about it prior, I came to realize that at least some value is in both the localized names, of course, so we know not to purchase Soten deck cores because now they are a dual
Yeah,
avatar.
that's true.
And an actual important thing, I think the most important thing is the fact that we do get the rarities now from their like pictures,
Oh, that's
which
true.
does have great value because that's a big question for the TCG always is the rarities. But as in terms of it being like content that I would watch the video, I'll just look at a YG organization like blog post that says the rarities and I'm done, you know.
Yeah.
I don't find it gripping to rewatch the cards that, like you mentioned, we've seen for months already.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely agree. I thought it was cool when Plunder Patrols, they were broken up between Team APS, Team Samurai, and Nim Nim. They each got one of the Plunder Patrol like extra deck monsters, and that was really cool. Or I don't know if they got the extra deck monsters, but like Plunder Patrol cards in general. I don't even know if they were already out yet or if it was like the second wave or what. But the point is, that was cool because they just had a simple small video showing off one of the Plunder Patrol monsters, and that was like that's all we need. But also in the on the other side of things, I think it was what was it Toon Chaos with the TCG EU that they each released like I think it was like 10 or more Yugi tubers in different languages because you know the EU does have like multiple languages. They released all the Toon Chaos cards, and that was almost a disaster. I wouldn't personally call it a disaster, but I saw on social media it was quite a big thing that it was like too much because it was like, oh, you have to watch literally like 15 videos to find out this set, you know?
Yeah.
So and they all I think posted around the same time as opposed to this more structured, you know, each day is a Yugi tuber. So yeah, so I don't even know the correct route to go because I think they kind of tried that whole dispersing with content with new content. It just didn't it didn't work out kind of either way. So of course we aren't heads of the marketing department over there in Konami headquarters.
Yeah.
But I think what they're doing is not perfect, but I think it's not too bad.
Okay.
I guess I know that's not much of an opinion. Oh, it's not good, but it's not bad. But that's kind of where I stand. It's definitely not bad.
It could be worse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But Looper Pooper has to go to sleep. Good night. Thank you for dropping by and like I said, for making sure that our audio was working.
Yeah.
But like what you just building off of what you said, now that when you mentioned the rarities, I had completely forgotten about it when I was going on my ramble. But that is pretty important too, because I remember originally I think the desert sniper. I'm not even going to try to remember her name anymore at this point, but she's a secret in the OCG. So knowing that she's an ultra and that there are two secrets to go for in this set, that's really helpful. But I don't think that it's worth the time investment. Like you said, it's easier to just go on to like a YGO organization thing and then just come in. I mean, just read it from there. But anyway, Artist with Afro has joined the chat. What is up, Afro? But yeah, we are sort of closing up the show already. It's been like an hour and a half.
Hello, goodbye.
But glad you can make it regardless. We're just talking about the current Yugi tuber Konami collaboration that's going on right now, and or just our opinions on the format of how they're doing things. But so far it's not too much to really go off of. But we were talking Tri Brigades a little a little, but it wasn't too in depth about it. We were just talking about the Nim Him video that was released today, where he talked about the synergies with the synergies between the cards and the rarities that we'll be getting them in the TCG, and how they're different. How they're different to the ones in the OCG. And we're so sorry. We are so sorry. It's just, we have to go to bed too. I still have to pack some stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I'm okay if they keep doing this, but I do hope for future reference. I don't know if they'll probably never watch this, but that they find a way to maximize the time of both the viewer and the Yugi tuber that they're collaborating with, because the Yugi tuber has already, most of the time Yugi tubers already know that information. The only thing that we didn't know, like you said earlier, was the rarity that they're going to be coming in, because those do change. But yeah, if they could just find a better way to maximize the time, even just one collective video for a set or something would be a lot better, instead of just taking 13-15 minutes of our time to explain cards that we already know. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Artists with Afro says, anytime Konami reaches out and collabs with people in the environment, the more community gets to get more peeps into our game. That is true. Because one of the best things that a company can do is show rapport with the people that support it. So I think that's a really good thing. I just wish that they were a little more thoughtful of it, because I'm pretty sure Konami knows that that the OCG stuff does come over to the West, and the localized versions of the thing. So yeah, other than that, dual avatars, but yeah, what can you do, right? What can you do? Anyway, I think that's everything that we had to talk about, unless there was something else you wanted to add.
I think that hits. The final thing, I'm gonna make it really quick because we are basically half an hour over our usual allotted hour. But silver lining, because we were so far over, Artists with Afro managed to catch us, so that is an actual silver lining. But final thing is, another issue is that I guess they also did something similar with some TGEU people, because I saw that the rarities, that the only unique thing about the videos were released for Tri Brigade like early than Nim Nim.
Oh, really?
From someone in I believe a German speaking country in Germany, but I'm not entirely sure. It wasn't English is the point, but it was definitely a German language, or not German, a European. Sorry, it's late. See, we're half an hour. My brain's going mush. But it was in some European language, which makes me think that they probably did something in some other language, to kind of cover all bases, because of course the TCG does encompass many languages, and all the Yugi tubers for this 6-day span are all English speaking, which it is kind of cool. Very, very side note tangent is there is a constant Canadian representation, which I think is pretty cool, because I don't know, in general the conversation is usually US centric, because the US very much likes to talk about themselves. So it's cool just overall in the YugiTube sphere, and with these like reveals, you guys get some representation with Team Sam and Ruggles, and I think that might be it, but still that's like a third of them at least off the top of my head. So yeah, that closes my statement.
All right, and with that statement, the show is closed as well, guys. We would like to thank you for joining in on our rambles and our tinfoil hat theories. Promise that for episode 7, we will have those tinfoil hats ready and made for our heads, and it'll be great. But yeah, do you have anything that you want to shout out before we close?
Shout out Sakura He has been here since literally the beginning of the episode, spending a lot of time with us today. So I really appreciate it. And of course, I follow you on Twitter and I'm subscribed to you and I like your work. Keep going strong, Sakura. And also, shout out Artists with Afro. Same thing on both those ends. And also, since I believe you two are the guys closing with us tonight. So shout out to you guys especially. And Looper Pooper, who is asleep now, but they helped us figure out our sound worked at the beginning and we're in the chat the whole time.
Good night, sweet prince. But yeah, for me, thank you to everybody that watched. Really appreciate it. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to both of our channels. The channel names are here and over there. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe to both of our channels if you enjoyed this. We do this every 2 weeks. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram. I'm very spammy on Twitter. I like to put up a bunch of stuff. And yeah, it's that's it for in terms of channel content. Of course, I do have Forged in Flames coming out on Tuesday. I have to film Zero to Hero, but I might have to skip this week. I'm not sure because of all the moving stuff. So to those of you who watch that are here, if you don't see it this week, then you know why. Special shout out to Artists with Afro and Sakura and Looper Pooper and Tario. I know that he's probably not here anymore, but he always comes in, drops a chat message, and then pieces out because he has work the next morning. But thank you guys for watching. We hope that you enjoyed. We hope that you have a good night. And that is it for this week's In the Yugi Know. See you guys in November. Oh no. 2 weeks.
Hold the calendar.
Yeah, get the
2
calendar.
weeks. Yes, November 1st.
Oh, okay, I didn't blow it. All right. See you guys the 1st of November. Okay.